Episode 9, Jeffrey Dahmer. Finally, we're at the final 2. Jeffrey Dahmer, there are so many shows, films, books about Jeffrey Dahmer. So, most of the information I'm going to talk about probably everyone knows. But he is number 9, and then number 10 is going to be a little bit different. So let's get into it. So Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born on May 21st, 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. On July 22nd of 1991, at the age of 31, he was arrested for first-degree murder, disorderly conduct, and second-degree sexual assault, and enticing a child for immoral purposes. From a young age, Jeffrey claimed that he was, detached from his family. His mum suffered with hypochondria and spent a lot of time in bed. She also attempted suicide on one occasion, and his dad was a research chemist, so he spent a lot of time away from home when he was studying, etc. So Jeffrey was, I don't know if neglected is the right word, but he wasn't really given much childhood support from his parents. On June 18th of 1978, Dahmer picked up hitchhiker Stephen Mark Dix. He advised that he was on the side of the road, bare-chested, and that enticed his sexual desires, and he took him back to his place, where he lived. After drinking lots, Hicks said he wanted to leave. Dahmer didn't want him to leave, so he hit him around the head twice with a 10-pound dumbbell. He then strangled him with the bar of the barbell, and then removed his clothes and masturbated over his body. He then, the following day, dismembered his body in his basement. I'm going to list off his victims, as I always do. So June 18th, Stephen Mark Hicks, age 18. November 20th, Stephen Walter Toomey, age 25. January 16th of 1988, James Edward Doxter, age 14. March 24th of the same year, Richard Guerrero, 22. In 1989, March 25th, Anthony Lee Sears, age 24. In 1990, May 20th, Raymond Lemuth Smith, 32. June 14th, Edward Warren Smith, 27. September the 2nd, Ernest Marquez Miller, age 22. September 24th, David Courtney Thomas, age 22. And then in 1991, February 18th, Curtis Durrell Strouter, age 17. April 17th, Errol Lindsay, age 19. May 24th, Tony Anthony Hughes, age 31. May 27th, Conorak, I can't pronounce that, age 14. June 30th, Matt Cleveland Turner, age 20. July 5th, Jeremiah Benjamin Weinberger, age 23. July 15th, Oliver Joseph Lacey, age 24. July 19th, Joseph Arthur Braidhoft, age 25. Conorak, I'm going to try and pronounce it, is Cynthia Somphone, age 14, was probably one of the most famous of Dahmer's murders, because he actually got out of the apartment and approached women on the street, and the police were actually called, and the police gave him back to Dahmer. Dahmer came and pled some narcissistic story, and the police gave this 14-year-old boy back to Dahmer. Even though these women were saying, don't do it, something's wrong, this man's crazy, we've been saying it for years, they handed him back. And then he was drugged more, and he was kept, his head was kept in the freezer. This one could have been saved. So on July 2nd of 1991, Dahmer was finally apprehended, and he was sentenced to 941 years in prison, which was essentially 16 life sentences. So he would have been 31 when he was apprehended. His trial finished in February of 1992. It took 14 days, the trial, 2 weeks, and on 14th February, that's when he was sentenced for the murders that he committed, and not just murders, the horrific crimes that he committed. On November 28th of 1994, Dahmer left his cell along with a guy named Jesse Anderson and Christopher Scarver to conduct their daily duties, and they were cleaning the showers and locker rooms of the prisoners. A few hours later, Dahmer was found severely bludgeoned to the head and face. He was alive. He was in the showers when he was found, and he was taken to a hospital where he later died. Jesse Anderson was also found deceased in the shower area. They had both been bludgeoned with a 20-inch pipe or metal pole. Christopher Scarver admitted to carrying out this attack. He said that it wasn't premeditated. However, he did carry this 20-inch pipe to this place. So it must have been premeditated in some sort of way. And he was able to conceal it to get it there. He was schizophrenic and just attacked them. Never really gave any particular reason as to why. He was already in prison serving a life sentence for murder. I found this interesting. So upon learning of his death, Dahmer's mother Joyce responded angrily to the media with, "Now is everyone happy? Now that he's bludgeoned to death, is that good enough for everyone?" The mother then of victim Oliver Lacey, her name was Catherine, responded with, "The hurt is even worse now because he's not suffering like we are." Fair. It's you know, I would never say anyone deserves to die. Like, I think that's a very dark statement to make, but unfortunately Catherine was right. It's, you know, he's not ever going to he's not suffering anymore with his mental issues or whatever because someone killed him, and the parents of the victims and the family of the victims will suffer for the rest of their life knowing what he did to them. It's a hard one. September 1995, Dahmer was cremated and his remains were split between both of his parents. There was a little bit of a battle between them as to whether or not his brain would be used for scientific research. However, in December of the same year, his brain was eventually cremated, split in half, and split between the parents. The Oxford Apartments, 924 North 25th Street, where Dahmer killed 12 of the victims, was demolished in 1992. It is currently just an open place, but there are plans to make some sort of memorial area, maybe with benches, like a park or a playground, where people can, you know, remember the victims that died in that building. The plans to reconstruct other houses has also been discussed, but it's never come to fruition. So that is Mr. Dahmer, probably the most prolific. It's actually just, you couldn't imagine these things happening to people and happening from someone who was so young. Like, he was in his 20s. Our next case is a little bit different. This one is I think it's from the 1500s. But he is number 10 on the list of modern history. I know it's not as modern as some of the others, but it's definitely worth listening to. And he's very interesting. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.